The scarcity definition of economics. As we saw in the earlier video, Professor Lionel Robbins criticized the popular welfare definition of economics put forward by Dr. Alfred Marshall. Let us now study Professor Lionel Robbins' definition of economics. The scarcity definition put forward by Professor Lionel Robbins in his book An Essay on the Nature and Significance of Economic Science. A British professor of economics and a prominent member of the economics department at the London School of Economics, Professor Lionel Robbins, who is famous for his quote, "Humans want what they cannot have," published a book, An Essay on the Nature and Significance of Economic Science, in 1932. He has defined economics as: economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. This is the most commonly accepted current definition of economics. Economics, according to him, is a science of scarcity and choice, and therefore this definition is also known as the scarcity definition of economics. Features of the scarcity definition. The main features of Professor Lionel Robbins' scarcity definition are as follows: multiplicity of ends, scarcity of means, ends can be graded, means have alternative uses, efficient use of means, and science of choice. Let us now study these features one by one. Multiplicity of ends. Professor Lionel Robbins has used the term ends in his definition to indicate wants. As we all know, wants are the beginning and end of all economic activity. In a primitive society, wants were simple and few, but they were unlimited. As civilization developed, wants increased. As population increased, demand for goods and services increased, so wants increased. New inventions took place, new goods and services came into the market, and wants increased. Wants now have become complex and many. Also, when some wants are satisfied, other wants take their place. Some wants are recurring wants, that is, they occur again and again. They have to be satisfied again and again. For example, the want for food. Wants are thus multiple and ever increasing. In short, wants are unlimited. Satisfying all these wants is difficult. Therefore, one has to choose between wants on the basis of their urgency. Thus, wants are the root cause of all economic problems. If wants were limited, then all wants could be satisfied and economic problem would not arise. Scarcity of means. Human wants are unlimited and can be satisfied with the consumption of goods and services. To produce these goods and services requires means, that is, resources. Productive resources which are available for production of goods and services to satisfy human wants are land, labor, machinery, time, energy, money, etc. Even if all these resources are fully employed for production of goods and services, human wants cannot be fully satisfied. This is because land is limited by the area of the country, labor is limited by size of population, etc. In other words, means are scarce and limited. The term scarcity indicates relative, not absolute scarcity, that is, in relation to its demand. If a commodity is available in small quantity but nobody demands it, it is not scarce. Similarly, a commodity may be available in small or large amounts, but its demand is still greater than its supply. It is scarce. For example, in a class, 30 pencils might be required and 25 are available. There is scarcity. In a school, 3,000 pencils may be required, 2,500 are available. They are still scarce. Although resources have increased over time, the demand for them has outpaced their supply and therefore scarcity continues. Scarcity of resources is a universal fact, that is, an individual or a country, whether rich or poor, cannot escape this problem. For example, a poor country might be trying to achieve its basic requirements, while a rich nation might be trying to maintain its existing standard of living and improve it further. Both, however, face scarcity. Therefore, multiplicity of wants alone cannot create an economic problem, but along with scarcity of means to satisfy them, it creates an economic problem. Since resources are scarce, they have to be put to the best possible use, that is, economic use. Optimum use of these resources should be made, that is, full use, and avoid waste. We have to choose from among these resources according to priority, whether more of land, labor, capital, electricity, coal, etc. should be used. One has to economize on the use of resources. If means like ends were unlimited, there would be no economic problem, as all wants, whether limited or unlimited, could be satisfied. Therefore, multiplicity of ends and scarcity of means are the two foundation stones of economic science. Ends can be graded. Scarcity of resources imposes limitations on the ability of an individual or society to satisfy wants, and therefore the individual or the society has to give up some wants and choose some wants. Though wants are unlimited and large in number, all are not equally important. Some wants are more important and urgent than others. Therefore, wants can be arranged in a descending or diminishing order of importance on the basis of the individual's or society's preference. This is known as the scale of preference. All individuals have a scale of preference. Therefore, the concept of scale of preference is universal in nature. The scale of preference itself, however, is subjective. It differs from person to person. Therefore, ends can be graded. A rational person will choose few important and urgent wants for satisfaction, for example, food, clothing, shelter, etc., and the less urgent wants can be rejected or their satisfaction can be postponed. Therefore, one has to choose between wants. If all wants were of equal importance, it would not be possible to choose between them, as gradation of wants would not be possible. That is, a rational choice would be difficult and therefore there would be no economic problem. If none of the wants were of any importance, the problem of choice would not arise and therefore there would be no economic problem. The scale of preference therefore helps to choose between wants. Means have alternative uses. Though means are scarce and they can be put to alternative uses, that is, one want can be satisfied by different resources. For example, a thirsty person can have a glass of water, fruit juice, tea, coffee. A classroom may be lit by tube lights, bulbs, lanterns, candles. Resource which is convenient to use and which gives you maximum satisfaction has to be selected. Secondly, one resource can be used to satisfy different wants. Money can be used to buy chocolates, lottery tickets. 3 hours, that is time, can be used to watch a movie or read a book in the library. A piece of land can be used for cultivation, as a playground, or for building offices, residences. If, however, the land is used for cultivation of sugarcane, no other crop can be grown on the same piece of land at the same time. Labor may be used on farms, in factories. So, resource which is convenient to use and gives you maximum satisfaction has to be selected. Lastly, resources are exhaustible. That is, once this scarce resource is used to satisfy any want, it cannot be reused to satisfy another. In short, the use of scarce resources in production of one commodity prevents its use for any other commodity. So, resource which is convenient to use and gives you maximum satisfaction has to be selected. Man therefore has to choose the best way of utilizing the scarce resources which have alternative uses. Choices, that is, problems faced by the society are what to produce, how to produce, how much to produce, and how to distribute the goods and services that are produced. Since resources can be put to different uses, choice becomes difficult, and therefore the resource must be put to the best possible use. As said earlier, resource which is convenient to use and gives you maximum satisfaction has to be selected. That is, we have to economize on the use of resources. Selection of the right resource is thus another aspect of the economic problem. For this, we have to apply the mini-max principle, that is, minimize waste and maximize returns. Scarce resources are not specific. They have alternative uses, and this gives rise to economic problem. If resources had specific uses, that is, one resource could be used only in one direction. For example, if water could be used to quench thirst only, it is only the thirsty people who would demand water. There would be no question of selection of wants or of resources, and therefore there would be no economic problem. Efficient use of means. The scale of preference helps to choose between unlimited wants. On the basis of such priorities, the scarce resources are to be used in an efficient manner for the satisfaction of wants. The minimax principle helps to choose between resources and use them efficiently. In short, resource which is convenient to use and gives you maximum satisfaction is selected. Economics is a science of choice. The problem of economizing resources leads to the problem of choice. Wants are unlimited, but all wants are not of equal importance or urgency. Therefore, wants are selected and satisfied on the basis of the scale of preference of the consumer. The consumer also has to select the right resource for satisfying a particular end, and therefore the minimax principle is applied. Since the consumer is choosing between ends which are unlimited and choosing between means which are scarce and have alternative uses, economics is termed as a science of choice. The scarcity definition, according to Professor Lionel Robbins, all four conditions, that is, multiplicity of ends, scarcity of means, gradability of ends, and alternative uses of means, have to be present for an economic problem to arise. If any of the four factors is absent, economic problem would not arise. In the next video, we shall see Professor Paul Samuelson's growth definition of economics.